Hi guys, welcome and thank you for joining me today. Have you ever experienced someone trying to control you? Have you ever seen a father take a picture of a tool that was left out on his workbench and go show it to his son and angrily say, "No, no, no"? Have you ever experienced a coworker come to you? The coworker is overloaded and they try to convince you why they need your help because they don't think that you'll care to help them? Have you ever experienced, this is more so for marriage, but have you ever experienced a woman come to her husband and say, "You never help anyway, you never do what I want you to," when he has said, that he will do the project that she asked him to do at a later time? Have you ever experienced, a parent to child relationship where the parent yells at their kid? It might not be something dangerous. It could be something dangerous, but in short, just yells angrily and berates them and brings them down instead of coming alongside to lift them up and to see, what it is that they should be doing. All of these experiences are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to what is actually controlling. In my own experience, I've been controlling a lot of times, and I've had a lot of people try to control me. But what it boils down to that I've noticed is when somebody is controlling or doing controlling behaviors, it's because they feel unsafe. Or, in my own case, if I try to make somebody else do something, it's because I feel unsafe or I feel scared or I feel unloved. And I mistake the feeling that I get by feeling safe for experiencing love. So when I get that mixed up, I can be a rather controlling, rather irritating person. It's never fun being around somebody who's controlling. And controlling behavior doesn't always look angry. Two extremes of anger, lashing out but not physical, are yelling, and at the other extreme, a silent treatment or a cold shoulder. And both of those are extremely controlling. But then there's the little things throughout the day that most people just don't quite pick up on, most people aren't really aware of. And I want to focus a little bit on that because with kind of dissecting, dismantling what is controlling on a minor level, I think it'll open up the realm of thinking as to what could be controlling on a bigger level. But the extremes, I don't think we really need to go into that, as most of us have experienced them more times than we'd like to admit. But one of the things, and I'm going to use an example here, one of the things that could be done, and I have seen it done, but I haven't had to do it, or I haven't done this myself. I haven't been in a situation like this where I've had to use what I'm going to share is the right or a better way to handle it. It's not that there's a right way and a wrong way, but there are better ways to handle things. So let's say I'm a parent and I'm walking with one of my daughters down a pier, and she's walking right close to the edge. The water's right there, the big rocks, big waves, everything. And if I'm being controlling, I'm going to yell at her, "Hey, get away from the edge, get back." Or if what would be a better approach would be, I say, "Hey, come over here. Can we talk for a minute?" And she comes over and I say, "When you're walking close to the edge like that, I feel scared. I feel unsafe. I need to feel safe and secure with where you walk." And at that point, I've removed the controlling factor because I've given her freedom of choice. Where there is no freedom, there can only be control. And where there is no freedom, there is no love. So being able to give her the choice to choose what to do with the information I shared with her, is she going to make the choice of walking away from the edge and helping me feel safe that way? Is she going to say affirmingly, I'm being careful, I'll be a little more careful and I'll watch out. I see there's no water up there. I'm going to be careful not to slip. She has different choices of what to do. And if she just ignores my choice and goes on walking along there carefree, just not even paying attention to where she's going or what she could possibly slip on, or, as is often on piers, there might be somebody fishing up there, She could get snagged by a hook. All of these things are things I'm scared of, and she might be scared of them too, but just not, acting on it. But she can go right on doing what she did and ignore the freedom I gave her, operate in the freedom I gave her, but ignore the information I gave her. And at that point, I have to be completely okay with, her choice, because I've given her the choice. But now if this is a situation where she could actually get, hurt, it's very dangerous, then there's got to be some consequence that I have thought of ahead of time that I would then give her. In a situation like this, I might say, I need to feel safe, or, I can walk with you on the pier if you hold my hand. Now, there's a fine line here about what gets controlling and what is not controlling. If I've done everything I can to offer choices, then, and it's something dangerous, then at me as a loving parent, I stress parent here, I need to make sure I keep my child safe. So if she then comes up and holds my hand, great, we'll continue on the pier. If she doesn't, come and hold my hand, then it's time to turn around. That fun adventure is done for right then, until, she can hold my hand, and then we could continue on. But more things that, are actually controlling that a lot of people don't actually really pay attention to is if somebody comes by, say I'm at my table at work or my desk at work, I don't have an office job, but somebody comes by my weld table and they say, hey, I need this done and I need it done right now. Push everything else aside. And I ask, okay, what line is this for? Who is it for? What's the priority? And they just start giving me all the reasons why I should be doing it for them. Then that's controlling. In a work situation like that, I'm going to participate as long as it's respectful. As long as we can dialogue back and forth without getting into blaming, without getting into he said, she said, this, that, and the other, then that's fine. But if it just comes back to, you need to do this, or you never help me, or if you wanted the best for this company as much as I do, then you would do this, stuff like that. That's control, that's manipulation, and I need to put a stop to that, because that's also disrespectful. I need to first have enough love for myself to not participate in disrespect. So first I'm going to, focus on, okay, what is it that is on my plate? What is my responsibility right now? And then I can approach the conversation, approach the request from that place of knowing what is required of me. Once I know what's required of me, then I can either, push everything else aside and do the project, or I can relay the project on to my superiors and ask them, okay, what's the priority here? If the person approaching me hasn't given me any firm guidelines coming from higher up. And other situations, in a family, it can be, or controlling actions can be a child asking a parent, can I have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich because I'm really hungry, because I've been playing outside for so long and it's hot out there and I've just been running and I'm hungry. Honestly, on the child's part, they probably don't experience love from that parent. Or maybe they're just, what's the word I'm looking for? They're placing their expectation of the other parent on that parent. So maybe the child is unloved by one parent, or feeling unloved by one parent, and is treating both parents as if neither parent loves them. But in short, that child doesn't think that the parent cares enough about him or her to make them a peanut butter jelly sandwich. That child doesn't think that parent thinks that the child is experiencing and feeling hungry. And honestly, if a child comes to a parent like that every time, there's something deeper going on There's some reason that child doesn't feel safe, is not experiencing love. There's some disconnection there. And what it would take would be to turn that situation around so that the child doesn't feel like every time they ask the parent for something that they have to control and manipulate and try to give all the reasons why and try to convince the parent to do anything for them. Is that parent-child relationship needs to start focusing on a loving, safe connection instead of the distance that has been built. Because the only time relationships between a parent and child get to that point is when there's extreme distance and the child doesn't feel safe, the child doesn't feel secure, and they're trying to control the parent just to give them some comfort. I'm hungry. I'd like a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm hungry. And in the past, the parent hasn't responded with comfort. The parent hasn't held up, their end of the bargain, their end of the relationship. So those are a couple things that you can come across as, or that are controlling, and can come across as quite rude and can fly under the radar quite a few times. But apart from the big things like yelling, silent treatment, there's just lots of little manipulative conversations and phrases that people use. I'm sure as you think about what's been said here, I'm sure you'll start noticing it in all the people around you. But wait until you start noticing it in yourself. That's what I've experienced. I first noticed it in other people. Then I started looking at myself even more, and I realized I did quite a bit of that. And it's one place I'm healing in. And like I said, this is a journey. I'm hoping that later on I can say, I'm pretty much well done with that. But at the same time, I acknowledge it's a journey. I'm growing, and I'm going to continue to grow. And I'm going to keep sharing what I'm learning with you guys as I can. And, like the video. And there's going to be a couple questions to follow. And I hope to follow up with lots more content. So once again, questions to follow. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you back here again.